We need to stop calling things rock bottom because apparently it can always get worse.
You are Locked On Rangers, your daily Texas Rangers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are locked onto the Texas Rangers, the first and best daily Rangers podcast. I'm Bryce Patrick, a cripplingly addicted Texas Rangers fan, covering this team for 12 seasons, including all 7 as the founder and host of this podcast. Thank you all so much for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. If you're not already, you can follow me on Twitter at Bryce Patrick. You can follow the show at Locked On Rangers. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and on YouTube, where the best way you can help grow the show is to comment nearly any single thing below. Well, really, the best way you can help the show is be a member of the Texas Rangers and remember how to hit a baseball, because they can't do that at all. This was the worst offensive series I've seen in my entire life. This is the worst offensive team I've seen in my entire life, and I am absolutely disgusted watching this team attempt to play baseball. Corey Seager came back yesterday, and I thought, oh, and maybe the offense will be at least a little bit better. No, it was the worst offensive performance of the season. They had a whopping one hit in that game. It was a leadoff single by Josh Smith, and you guessed it, he was, of course, stranded there at first base. This team had an expected batting average yesterday of .094. Expected batting average of .094. Do you know how bad you have to be to have an expected batting average below 100? You weren't even having a prayer of a hit last week. It is a miracle that this team didn't get no hit. They struck out looking 6 times yesterday. 6 times, a season high of their 13 strikeouts as a team. They were going down swinging, they're going down looking. They were just going down. And the only person who reached base even once outside of Josh Smith, who had a decent day, went 1 for 2 with a strikeout and 2 walks. The only other person who reached base was Alejandro Ozuna on a walk. That's it. That's the sum of the base runners the entire game. 1 single, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts. The only times that there were balls with expected batting average over 200, 4 times on the day. 4 times, including that 300 expected batting average single by Josh Smith to lead off the game. There's that. There was an Adolis Garcia 102.9 mile an hour groundout with a 520 expected batting average in the second inning. And then you have to wait all the way until, Corey Seager at least had a ball that he hit hard, 104.7 miles an hour off the bat, a 380 expected batting average. Then we have a trio of strikeouts for that inning. Then we have Wyatt Langford, a 108.6 mile an hour lineout and 800 expected batting average. And then we go all the way. Oh, that's it. That's it. Those are the only balls with expected batting average over 200. Over 200. Everything else, not a prayer of being a hit. This team is honestly the most infuriating sports team I have ever watched. It is the most depressed I've ever been watching a baseball team, because there are parts of this team that are good. Tyler Mahle had a great start. I'm not going to sully his name by speaking more about him in this first segment, talking about the hitters. Corey Seager's back. Okay, that's going to make everyone better. No, it didn't. Everyone got worse. How does everyone keep getting worse every single day? What are you telling them in the hitters meetings? Hey, go up there, do the dumbest, worst thing possible. If you're doing that, congratulations, it's working. You're doing the dumbest, worst thing possible every single day. Remember when this team could score 3 runs a game? Those were the good old days. Those were things were going right. This team scored a whopping, Toronto in this series, they scored 4 runs in 3 games. 4 runs in 3 games. You should lose that series 100 times out of 100. They won 2 out of 3 because this Rangers team scored 3 runs in 3 games. 3 runs in 3 games against a terrible pitching team. The Blue Jays went 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position today. Rangers went 0 for 1. They had one plate appearance with the runner in scoring position. Can you guess what they did? Yeah, you got it. They struck out looking. Everyone in this lineup sucks. There is no redeeming qualities for this lineup anymore. I am done trying to find positive little, oh, they should do this, they should do that. They should stop sucking at baseball. That's what they should do. But they're not gonna. This is who this team is. I have less than zero. I have negative understanding of how this same freaking team won a World Series, let alone hit a baseball ever. I don't know what I'm watching. I am watching a team completely fall apart mentally every single day. And the broadcast trying to do PR work for the Rangers before this game. But, oh, look, here's this video of Corey Seager just chilling in the dugout. Look, he's so calm. He's so relaxed. Look, everybody in this dugout's so calm and relaxed. Why are you calm and relaxed? This is the worst offense in baseball. It's awful. And you have a team full of guys who have hit well in their big league careers. And all of you are playing like crap. Every single day, you're playing like crap. Why are you calm? Why is Bruce Bochy not freaking out? We're a third of the way into this season. He's shuffling lineups every single day. You have one game where you go 0 for 4, boom, you're dropped in the lineup. Oh, you have 2 hits, you're hitting third now. There's no consistency. There's no nothing. I don't blame him for doing these drastic things with the lineup because what else can you do? What is he saying behind closed doors? What is Justin Veely saying behind closed doors? What is the messaging that Brett Boone is bringing to the squad? Hey, guys. Yeah, you suck. Try doing better. I don't know. What could hurt at this point? Nothing could hurt at this point. This team is wasting a generational starting pitching staff in a bullpen that occasionally does some things nice. But that's as good as I'll say about this bullpen right now. Because, yeah, they weren't the reasons that the Rangers lost this game. The 2-run homer, pinch hit homer Jacob Webb gave up was not the reason the Rangers lost this game. Even though you have to charge an L to somebody on this pitching staff, you should charge it to every single member of this Rangers offense because it is garbage. It's garbage. There's no help coming. There's no improvement coming. There's no, oh, they should do this. They should do that. They should stop stinking at their jobs and being so darn chill about it. I want to see someone lose their minds. I want to see someone get thrown out of a game in the second inning, going off on a terrible umpiring call, because there have been a lot of them. It's not the umpire's fault that this offense sucks. It's the offense's fault that this offense sucks. But have some life. Have some fight. Have some something. You strike out looking 6 times in a game. Say half of those were bad calls. They weren't. But I'll be generous and say half of them were iffy to bad calls. It's still way too many times striking out looking in clutch situations. In the clutch, this team is turned into a random high school hitter. Heck, I think you could pull a guy who's projected to go in the first round at college this year. You throw him against this lineup, he'll probably throw 6 shutout innings. That's how lost this team is. The gap between college and the big leagues is the Mariana Trench. And I bet you could find some random, midday starter on an SEC team, throw him against this lineup. He'll give you 5 innings of 1-run ball because that's how lost and crappy this offense is. I am disgusted, infuriated, beyond out of my mind watching this stupid team play baseball. And I don't think it's ever going to get any better. This show is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for the snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios are one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1-ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. Whether I'm snacking at my desk, on a road trip, or just need a quick protein boost, they're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. Whether you're running between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonder Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. So get snackin' and get crackin', the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Shout out to the everydayers for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. If you're listening every single day, know that I love you from the bottom of my heart. Because if you're thinking more about this baseball team than just watching them, you're sick in the head just like me, or you're my mom or my girlfriend and you just want to support me. And either way, I appreciate you deeply. Because why would you want to think more about this baseball team? I don't. I chose to go into this career field because I love talking and talking about sports and talking about baseball, thinking about baseball, always thinking about baseball, playing baseball video games, just connecting with people, talking about sports teams. But watching this team play every single day, it drains my life force. This is the thing that has brought me joy. I have been doing this for over a decade, over a third of my life. I have been professionally writing, speaking, thinking, doing videos, whatever about sports. And now every day, I've been doing this podcast for 7 years, 6 years. I've lost track of time because I've been doing this podcast so long. And for the last couple of weeks, I've just felt dread getting up in the morning to talk about this stupid team. How am I going to find a new way to say this team sucks? I don't know. I'm running out of way. I ran out of ways. I'm not running out. I ran out probably 6 months ago when this team was doing the same dadgum thing. I guess it was like 8 months ago because that was the end of last season. But this is truly insane. I feel myself going insane watching this team just saying, oh, yeah, well, they're just getting a little unlucky. They've been getting a little unlucky for 2 years now, a year and a third, if you want to be generous. And I really don't, because this team is generous with giving away free outs. It's just not getting better. And I don't know that it's going to ever this season, which really sucks because Tyler Mahle is awesome. This was an awesome start by Tyler Mahle. Yet again, his ERA on the season is down to 1.64, 6 shutout innings. He did work around 3 walks and 4 hits with 5 strikeouts in this one. And the bullpen mostly held up. For the most part, they held up. They allowed 2 runs. The pitching staff allowed 2 runs in this one, and you lose by 2. Because somebody tell the offense you have to score to win a baseball game. This isn't soccer. You can't draw 0-0. That's not an option in this game. And Tyler Mahle has been way more than everything you ever could have hoped Tyler Mahle would be at this point in the season. He has been exceptional. The most runs he's allowed in a single game so far this year is 3. That was his last time out. I thought, okay, well, so much for the Tyler Mahle magic. Maybe that's done. No, he comes back and he looks awesome. Again, it's against a Toronto lineup that's not good. It's not a good lineup. It is a bad lineup. It has struggled very mightily, just like the Rangers, with runners in scoring position. And still, he's a free agent at the end of this year. And you have to start to wonder, is it time? Is it time to sell? Is it time to just punt this team into the sun? I really wish that I could just stop thinking about this baseball team. It's ruined my joy of watching other baseball games. Normally, I'm watching 3, 4, 5, 6 baseball games a night, or at least parts of them. And with this Ranger squad, it has drained me of that joy to do so. And I can't think about what's next with this team, because what's next is just another sucky game tomorrow. That's what's next for this team. You look at the schedule. Oh, okay. Well, maybe things will get better. I don't know. They're playing the Cardinals, who have been one of the hotter teams in baseball. That looked at the beginning of the year like an easy series, but there's no easy series. This was supposed to be an easy series. The Toronto Blue Jays are not a good baseball team right now. They can't hit. They can't pitch very well. But hey, if you can't pitch very well, just face this Texas Ranger team. It'll fix your pitching staff. You go on a heater. You'll turn everything around, because that's how bad this offense is. They'll fix your pitching staff. No matter how bad, how broken your pitching staff is, face the Texas Rangers. You're going to have a good day. That's what this has become, which is the antithesis of this entire franchise. For 50 plus years, this franchise has been the franchise that hits the crap out of the baseball and usually can't pitch that good. Now, they become the 2023 Seattle Mariners. They can't hit for crap, and they can pitch incredibly well. I don't know what I'm watching. What is this team? And this team is kind of old. You look at this team, it's the oldest team in baseball. Now, a little bit of that is skewed with a couple of older guys like Marcus Semien, like Jacob deGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, and, 39-year-old Chris Martin. This bullpen is just kind of old. There are some young guys that have some promise to be around for whatever the next great Rangers team is, because this is not a great Rangers team. This is not even a good Rangers team. This is not even a mediocre Rangers team. This is a bad Rangers team. And, you think, Jake Berger still hasn't hit arbitration. He's got to be young. No, he's 29. Oh, Josh Young, he's still a young guy. Josh Smith, those are still two young guys. They're 27. That's not young guys anymore. Those are guys in their peak. Well, you have Wyatt Langford, who's 23, and you have Evan Carter, who's 22. And you have Alejandro Ozuna, who's 22. Everybody else is older than 25. Heck, even Dustin Harris is 25 years old. The competitive window is now, and there's no help in the minors coming. There's no Blaine Crim that's going to come save this team. There's no Dustin Harris that's going to come save this team. Kellen Strom isn't going to save this team. Alejandro Ozuna isn't going to save this team. This team is going to have to save itself. And based on what I'm watching, they're not gonna. They're not gonna. We know who this team is. We are not just starting the season. This is not a bad little stretch. This is an awful stretch. This is an awful offense. And an offense that I thought was going to be one of the best in baseball heading into the season. Even if Marcus Semien fell off a cliff, which he has, a sub 500 OPS from your franchise cornerstone, a negative 0.4 WAR, despite playing really good defense at second base. That's how awful Marcus Semien has been offensively. Jock Peterson, nearly a negative 1 WAR player with a 500 OPS as your DH, the guy that was supposed to buoy this offense. Kyle Higashioka coming off a career season. Well, I didn't think he was going to repeat 18 homers in 57 games. He's got 1 in 27 and a 560 OPS. It's just bad baseball all around this offense. It's just bad. And I wish there was something I could just go in depth and talk about the farm and how everything's great on the farm. The Rangers have a bunch of young guys that are coming up. But no, there really haven't been that many good breakout players, positive things to talk about on the farm. Otherwise, I'd be talking about it a lot. There's not. There's Sebastian Walcott and a couple of lefties, one of whom did not have a very good day last night. I don't even want to talk about a guy who didn't make it through the first inning last night. It is a rough place for the Texas Rangers right now. And it's brutal to watch and to think about and to try and suspect of, what's going to turn around? What's going to turn around? We're nearly in June. We're about 2 days away from June. I don't think anything is going to turn around. So where does that leave this baseball team? This baseball team that sucks, but is not that far out of it. They are just 27-30. They're not at the bottom of the American League. They're not even out of, reach completely, even really at all, from the top of their division. The Mariners are 30-24. Astros are 30-25. Raiders are 27-30. That's not that far off. But it just feels like this is a year they need to punt. If they can't turn around in the next 3 weeks, by the middle of June, start the sell now. Honestly, start asking around now. Everything that's not nailed down, ship it off. Ship it off. Everyone who's not under contract for at least the next 3 years, ship them off. There's no point in continuing to see, maybe this can be the thing that No, there's no more things. You fired your hitting coach. You cut a young player with potential with what, 2 seasons left of club control because you're sending a message. You sent down a guy who would average 30 home runs a season to the minors for 2 weeks. He came back up and looked great for a week and a half, and now he's back to looking like crap for 2 games, which apparently means forever because he's already been dropped back down to the 5-6 hole, whatever he's hitting last night. You brought in a new hitting coach. What's left to do? What's left to do? You to do some kind of goat sacrifice in the locker room? Are you gonna, I don't know, start writing stuff on your butt cheeks like you did during that 2023 World Series run? Are you gonna make a trade for Austin Hedges because the vibes are so atrocious that you just need someone to get this team out of their own heads? Honestly, that might be the only thing that saves this team, but I don't think the Cleveland Guardians are going to trade Austin Hedges away. Maybe the Rangers should have paid $4 million for Austin Hedges. Maybe that would have fixed this offense. I don't know. I don't know. So you start looking at things that aren't nailed down, players that have trade value that aren't going to be around for the long term. Tyler Mahle is number one on that list. He has been great this year. He has been dependable. He is someone who will have value on the trade market this year. And if you know that you're not going to compete, you owe it to your future of next year and the year after, because it's not long-term. It's not a long-term rebuild. It's a reset. If the Rangers do punt on this year, they need to punt hard for this year and come back next year, figure out what the heck happened with this offense and just do it again, because just a full-blown teardown rebuild is not going to work with how this team is constructed. You've got Corey Seager. He's still at his prime. You cannot afford to do a long-term rebuild with him and Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien might just be straight up cooked at this point. I don't know. But you've got a great Nathan Eovaldi in his prime. You've got a great Jacob deGrom. If you waste a healthy Jacob deGrom year, the first one that you get in the first 3 years of his 5-year contract, feels like a massive loss. You look at other relievers that are other 1-year guys who are doing okay. Maybe Sean Armstrong has some value. Maybe Howie Milner has some value. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be wanting to trade for Jacob Webb or Luke Jackson because they have not been good, but maybe they do. Maybe they do. Who knows at this point? Maybe you kick the tires on saying who would want a Patrick Corbin. I bet the Dodgers would right now. The Dodgers would kill for a Patrick Corbin. They have been absolutely obliterated by injuries. They also have a pretty darn good farm system, and maybe you could get some value at the upper minors to help you restock and reload for next year. Because the thing about this offense is that you're locked into it. This is what it is. And that's the most infuriating part for me of where this Rangers team is right now. They've got a bunch of guys who are in their prime, or at least close to it, that have shown track records of being successful big leaguers, and they're all just having the worst 2 months of their life at the same time. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't think the Rangers know how to fix it. I don't think the players know how to fix it. I mean, Jake Berger, he's got, 4 more years under contract? Wyatt Langford, he's got 4 more seasons after this under contract. Same with Evan Carter. Josh Young has got 3 more years under contract. Same with Josh Smith. Wyatt Langford, or Corey Seager is going to be here for another, 7, 6 seasons? At this point, you got Marcus Semien for another, I believe, 2 or 3 at this point, which just feels, woof. I think it's 3 more years at this point, which feels really tough. Maybe it's 4. I really hope it's not 4, but maybe I don't know. Maybe he figures it out. Maybe somebody figures something out. I'm beyond lost with what to do with this team. I'm sure Chris Young is too. I'm sure that Bruce Bochy is like, I don't know what's going on here. It's like some kind of ancient curse has been cast on this team. Like the logical explanations for why this team is bad at hitting, they went out the window for making sense 30 games ago. Now we're to, I don't know, did somebody, spit in the eye of some kind of baseball deity? Was there some kind of deal with the devil made for the 2023 World Series title? Maybe. Maybe that's worth it. And gosh, after that World Series title, I thought, okay, they've done the one thing. They've done the one thing that I wanted them to do that I thought they'd never do. I would trade this team being mediocre and bad for 5 years after this. Well, we're about 2 years into that, and I'm regretting ever saying or thinking that, because my goodness, this is brutal. This should have been a team that followed up and won the AL West last year. That should have been a team that was at least above 500 last year, and they weren't. This year, this should have been a team that ran away with the AL West with how bad the AL West has been, how good this team should have been, especially with how good the rotation has been. Again, Tyler Mahle has been just flat out exceptional. And as recently as spring training, I thought this guy was cooked. I thought this guy was done. I thought he'd be one of the ones who didn't ever really fully come back from Tommy John surgery. And he's been better than he's ever been right now. We've got a healthy Jacob deGrom. He's made 11 starts in 63 innings at this point in the season. He hasn't had to skip a single start. Nathan Eovaldi has been better than we've ever seen him. He might have to push back his start a little bit due to that tricep issue that caused him to leave the game earlier this week. But overall, he's not going to have an IL stint, at least at this point, if you believe the Rangers, which I'm running out of reasons to believe the Texas Rangers when they say things or think things. I mean, you look at what Tyler Mahle is doing, the best ERA he's ever had in a season for a season where he pitched more than 5 games. The 3.75 ERA in Cincinnati. That was 180 innings in 33 starts, 210 strikeouts that year, a 125 ERA plus. Right now, he has a 164 ERA and a 229 ERA plus. He has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. The Rangers are going to have 3 all-stars on the mound. And you know what? I don't think they're going to have any in terms of the hitters. I don't think anybody on this roster is going to be an all-star on the hitting side. And I don't think they should be. Wyatt Langford looked incredible for the month of April and March. In 21 games there, he had a 972 OPS, 6 home runs. Well, he's hitting 194 with a 279 on base percentage, a 616 OPS in 26 games in May. He's been bad, and he's been awful with runners in scoring position as well. That was something he was great at last year. He was exceptional in the clutch, in big moments, late. This year, he's hitting 172 with 33 plate appearances with runners in scoring position. 1 home run, 11 strikeouts. He's striking out a third of the time and a 557 OPS. He's got an on base of just 212, 2 walks, 1 ground and a double play. One of those 2 walks is an intentional walk that immediately led to an RBI single by Josh Young earlier this week. It's everybody on this team. Everything feels so incredibly frustrating. Maybe they pull a miracle out of their butt cheeks this weekend and score 3 runs in a game. Honestly, it feels like scoring 3 runs in a game is a miracle. How they scored back-to-back 5 runs in games this past weekend against the White Sox, defense definitely did them some favors in being terrible. But every run this team scores, it feels like just the most miraculous thing ever, because this team can't hit. This team can't get runners on base. This team can't do anything offensively. And it is beyond explanation. It is beyond understanding. It is beyond the capacity to change at this point. It's done. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. And the Rangers have been telling you all season long that this offense stinks. And I think it's time that we finally believe them. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all so much for listening and subscribing. And I don't know, do your best to attempt to enjoy baseball.